When you search on Google the net worth of YouTube or ask ChatGPT or Bard, you get various answers, but there is one thing that is absolutely constant. $1 billion. Yes, YouTube is worth billions, and that's because of one thing: the ads functionality code on the platform. In today's video, we are going to write a similar code that has literally generated YouTube billions of dollars. And it's quite easy with a few lines of code, as you will see later in the video. So stick with me to the end. After this video, you will be able to have a fair knowledge about the code running YouTube. And hey, you can embed them to your mobile apps or websites. Enough talk, let's write some code, please. Let's start writing the $1 billion code, shall we? So to be at exactly where I am, you need to come to my GitHub repository. Link would be in the description below. And then in here, where you see branch, you should choose Startup. So after you choose Startup, all you have to do now is come here and either download zip or clone it using this link. And then you would be exactly where I am right now. And where I am exactly is this nice looking interface of a clone of YouTube, where you could see the homepage. And then whenever you click on any of these videos, you get this loading spinner here. And the video is not actually going to load, because that is the function we are going to write. But you get this loading spinner, which does nothing, basically. And so let's jump ahead and write that code. And so in order to do that, we would first come to inside our lib folder, inside the features. And by the way, this is a clean architecture format I'm using here. And inside the screens, when you come to desktop, you come to the desktop home screen. And so when you come here, you see this custom video player right here. And this custom video player is what we saw here. This is the layout of the custom video player. So this is where we are going to work so that we get our ads functionality working. And so for now, we just have this nice looking background. So let's start working on it. And so, of course, the first thing we're going to do is create the function to load the ads. And that would be very easy. I told you in the introduction earlier that we will write a few lines of code that is basically generating billions of dollars for YouTube. So we start easily by saying future, which will return nothing. We'll just call it load ads, which would be at asynchronous function. So in there, we are going to have our ads controller. This is how it looks now. What we are going to do is we're going to cut this. And we are going to make our ads controller equal to the video player controller.asset. And then what do we want to pass? For now, we'll just pass in any video. So we'll just go with assets/videos. So in here, when you come to the assets folder, we have an image and a video folder here. Again, if you clone the startup I showed you, you would have access to all this, and we could pick any one of these. So let's just go with outro. So we will say outro.mp4, and there we go. Now, in order to get rid of this error, we would have to make this like so, and it is nullable. And then to get rid of all these errors, we would remove this and this as well. And then make sure we place an exclamation mark wherever we see the red squeaky line. And so let me quickly do that. And we are good to go. And here as well. And here as well. And there we go. We are good to go. So we've initialized the ads controller with a video we want to play. And what do you want to do next? Because this is an asynchronous value, we could await the ads controller and then initialize it. And again, we would need to place an exclamation mark saying it is not null. And then we would also await and set the volume. Now as a tip, I am using Video Player Package instead of a more feature-rich one like Chewy, because I want access to certain core functionalities Chewy handles for me, and thus do not give me access to edit it. So in building something like these, it is recommended to even build your own video player from scratch, so you can manipulate it much further. That was just by the way. And so in here, you would set the volume, and we would set the volume to 1, and then you make sure to call setState. Then we make sure that we play the video. So we say adsController.play, and again, always remember to bring the exclamation mark because we know it's not going to be null because we've initialized it right here. And so inside our init state, what we want to do is call this load ads right here. There we go. Now let's refresh our code and let's see what we got after writing this code. And there you go. Now we see that the video is now playing. It's just a blank paper screen showing. This is looking very great. And so let's work on it some more. So now we have the ads running. So now what about our regular video? And so in order to create the regular video, that would be very easy as well. For now, Let me just pause it. All right. And then now we also need to create a function similar to this to be able to also load our regular video. And so what we will do is we would say await future.delayed, where we would have our duration to be seconds. And in here, we would go with maybe 30 seconds. And after 30 seconds, we're going to create a function called load regular video. That is our original video. And so we're going to create a function very soon. Let me just const this. So what I did here is telling how long the ads should run before our normal video runs, and most ads run for 30 seconds. We are going to write a better code soon since that is always not the case. For now, let's go with this. Alright, let's just even make it just 10 seconds so that we will be able to see the functionality working as well. So let's go ahead and quickly create the function to load our regular video as well. And so in there, we'd also have load regular video. There you go. It's also going to be an asynchronous function, and there we're also going to have something similar to this. So we would have our regular video controller, which would be equal to this right here. And then all we have to do is make sure this is nullable. And in that, we would get a few errors we would have to clear up. And all we have to do is just place an exclamation mark everywhere telling the compiler, yep, don't worry, it is not going to be null. And there you go. All right, we are good to go. And so in here, we would come here and paste what we copied earlier. And there we go. And so instead of having this video here, let's take another video. Let's see. Let's go with creed.mp4. All right, there you go. So inside our regular video, what we do is that we initialize it and then we play it. And so now with this, we've also been able to load our regular video. As I said, these are just few lines of code that's generating billions of dollars for YouTube. All right, and so let's refresh this as well. And then let's see what we got. So let's watch a video of Ryan Trahan here. And let's see. And we get this unexpected null value. So the reason we are getting the null value here is that we need to make a check right here where we are conditionally displaying either an ad or the regular video. You need to make sure that we check if the regular video.controller is not equal to null. And there we go. With this, we will be able to get rid of the unexpected null value error we got. So now let's try it out again. And so here we go. Now let's click on this Mr. Beast's adopting puppies here. And let's go again. And there we go. We get the ads functionality running. And then you see that after 10 seconds, we'll get to see our normal video as well. So bear with me. Let's wait for another 10 seconds.
10 seconds later.
And there you go. You get to see that the regular video is now displaying. And this is looking awesome. And this is basically how to implement ad functionality on a website. But this is pretty basic. First of all, the ads we see are just not one ad, they are dynamic. I don't want every time that I press on a video because check this out. If I come back and then press on this messy video here, we get the same ad again and again. And then after 10 seconds, we get the same regular video. And that is not what we want here. We want to display dynamic ads. Now, of course, YouTube has a very complicated code of how they do this. They get your personalization feed and all that. So yeah, there are so many things under the hood that YouTube does to personalize ads for each individual. Certain things like country, what you watch, and niche. There are so many, but we are going to write our own simple code here. And so in order to do that, the first thing we're going to do is create our own model. And so inside the lib folder where we have models, we're going to create our own model where we call it ads.dart. Inside the ads.dart, we're going to have three things. For me, every time I'm creating a model, I want an ID, very necessary. And so we're going to have a final string ID. We're also going to have the video URL of the ads. And then we are going to have the video length as well, which would be integer. And then it's going to be video length. There we go. We generate constructor for this. And there we go. Now, let's try to make this dynamic. Now, in making it dynamic, you could fetch it from a database and then write a random logic that will display different ads. For me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to head into my global variables. And in here, this is where you see all this right here. And we're going to create the same thing here. A list of ads. And so I've already done that. And let me just copy it. You can pause the video to write it down, paste this right here, and then make sure to import ads like so. And so this is the dynamic ads that we are having now. Of course, you could fetch yours from a database, but I'm cool with this. Let me know in the comment section if you want a more detailed code or a more detailed video about the creating the ad functionality. I just want to show you how you could create your own dynamic ads to display on different videos. And so let's come back to the custom video. Now we're going to implement some kind of code that would make this here dynamic and this here dynamic as well. So let's do that. So the first thing we're going to do is have a variable, which would be int current index, because we want to loop through the list we have, and so it will initially be set to 0. And then, with the help of the Dart math, we'll be able to get access to the random library. And so inside here we have random, and in here this is where we make it dynamic. We set our current index to random.nextInt, and we would pass in the ads.length. Again, this ads is coming from the global variable we created earlier, and there we go. Now I want to make an if check. I want to check that if the current index is less than the ads.length, then I want everything right here to run like so. Else, I just want to set the current index to 0. Now this is just writing a better code so we do not get any errors, like index out of range. And now with that, all I have to do now is say ads is equal to the current ad we want to display. Again, we need to import ads from our model, and there we go. The current ad we want to display would be from the ads that is from the global ads here at the current index. Alright, so basically what I've done is I'm generating random index here, and then I'm assigning this current ad here by going through this list and generating a random index. I will be getting dynamic index whenever I press on a video. And so with this current ad, I can now come here and say current ad.video URL. Because we know that in here, the video URL contains the data source where we want to load our ad. And there you go. And also for here, we want to display how long the ad should last. And so in here, I would also say current ad.video length, and it wouldn't be constant. And there we go. And this is looking superb. Now with this function, we'll be able to generate different ads whenever we click on a new video. But now, let's polish the code a little. I want to also see where the video has reached. So whenever you press on a video, you see that this is not running. I want to make that work. So let's polish this regular video a little. And so after the initialize, we say dot then. We wouldn't be needing the value, but then we'll call setState. And then we already have a duration variable here. And all we have to do is assign the duration to regular video controller.value.duration. And this would not be final. This will not be final as well. And after setState, that is when we also want to play the regular video as well. Also, in order to make sure that I track the video length, we would add a listener. And so we will say regular video.addListener. Always remember to bring this exclamation mark to tell it's not going to be null. And in there, we also want to set state as well. Then we assign the position. That is the position we get right here. To regular video controller.value.position, you could also do the same for the ads as well, just like we did here, but I'm not going to do that. You could display the video length of the video for the ads as well. I would make that as a test. Let me know if you run into any trouble. Don't worry, I'll help you out. But that would be a little assignment for my programmers to also do the timing effect for the ads as well. But we've done it for the regular video, so it should be pretty easy for you to do that as well. And so, with that, I think we have a nice looking video ad functionality running. With this, we should get different ads whenever we press on a new video. Alright, so let's check that out and just make sure that we are in the home page at first, and then after that, let's see if it really works. Okay, so let's click on a video. And yeah, on a side note, I made a video on how to create and monetize your own ChatGPT from scratch. So you could check that out. The video link is in the description below. So let's check on a video now and see how our code works. And there we go, we get different ads showing up. And then we get the normal video showing up, and the video time is running as well. We could pause it, we could resume it, looking superb. And when we go back and then press on a different video, let's check PEP. We get another different ads right here. Now one thing I want to work on is the skip ads right here. And that is very easy as well. Let's just go back. And all we want to do is let's just go to where we have the skip. And there we go, this is where we have the skip. Honestly, what we want to do is just load the regular video. Like so. That's it. And it's as easy as that. We just want to load it because when you skip it, you want the regular video to play. And so let's come back again to the homepage section. Alright? And when we press on another ChatGPT video, and then we press skip, you see we immediately go to the main video and that is working properly. And we also see that our random ads is working. Let's press on another video. Let's go with Max Fosh here. And then we get another ads video. When we also go to Messi, of course, the GOAT, and we also get another ad video. Let's try another one. And there you go, another ad video showing up. The skip functionality is working. You could pause it as well. And so there are more manipulation if you want. Honestly, your imagination is the limit here. And that's how you are able to generate different ads. And that is it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new. Comment if you want a more detailed one, because we did write a code that generate billions of dollars to YouTube. But as you know, there are a few things than just randomly generating the ads videos. In fact, I even have a video coming up where we learn how to personalize data for each user based on what they click on your application. So be it an e-commerce application or even like YouTube, how do we suggest content that will keep them on the site? Stay tuned for that. Leave a comment if you didn't get anything or if you want a more detailed video, and also tell me how I can improve the videos I make for you guys. Your feedback is highly appreciated. Please like, share the video, and smash that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Adios.